Yo team, it's the exam coach checking in with you, coming in with a little bit of a different bulletin this week because exam day is almost upon us. We have to ramp up the momentum in terms of our revision processes, our preparation and our performance techniques so that on exam day we deliver the information we know and we've memorized to the best of our ability. That's all we can do at the end of the day. So, in this bulletin, I'm going to give you the 3 things over the past 5 years I've consistently seen come up as being challenges for students during this time just before exams, how you can solve them, and it's also what you can focus on, because these 3 things are what you should be focusing on day to day. If you can get them right, you're going to stand a really good chance of doing your best, and ultimately, if you deep down know you've done your best, you left it all out there, there was nothing more you could have done, you're going to be happy with whatever results you get. I've seen this enough. Students are only unhappy when they have regrets, because regrets you can't change. And it niggles away at people because they know they could have done a bit more. But the way we're doing exams this year, we're going to leave it all out there. We're going to be happy with our performance, and we're going to move forward into the future and take any opportunities that come our way. Before that, I also want to mention the 7-day exam plan is at its lowest price ever this exam season, just before exams, so that you can do it and make it have an impact on your exams this year. A few things that students have pointed out they really like is, you've got the 7-day exam plan, you've got the content there, the key things, the blueprint. From my experience of doing exams and the students I've worked with who have both been the top performers and the bottom performers, figuring out what the top performers are doing, figuring out what the bottom performers are doing, and what you need to do, all the way from revision technique, motivation, day-to-day routine, smartphone management, exam routine, stress management during exams, so that pressure doesn't get to you and you can execute and deliver what you know under time conditions, and do that consistently throughout every single exam, all the way up to that last exam, and then get out of there and have a cracking time post-exams. So there's the plan. But with that, there's the online WhatsApp support that you get every day when you're on the 7-day exam plan. It's that reinforcement every day of the key techniques, challenges each day, motivation each day, little tips, tricks. You can ask questions. Hey, I'm struggling with this. Exam coach, do you have a solve for it? What would you recommend? Hey, my routine's this. Do you think it's good? How could I change it up? How could I make it more effective? All that is wrapped into the plan. And that's why students love it. That one-to-one element, along with the blueprint, the key information you need to know. And it works. The other thing is the 14-day guarantee. And this is probably the best bit about it is I took online courses and plans when I was studying for my exams. And yeah, some of them were good. Some of them weren't so good. And the ones that weren't so good, I should have been able to say, hey, I didn't get the value out of it. It didn't help me. I want a refund. I want my money back. And with the 7-day exam plan, you can do that. You can do the whole plan, the 7 days, and get 14 days of WhatsApp support every day. And then you can say, hey, this isn't, if you don't think it's helping you, you can just get 100% refund. It says on the website. And there's no, tricky terms and conditions where we catch you out or anything. This is just, if you don't think it's going to be valuable, if you don't think it's going to help you through your exams, just let us know. You get a whole refund. And you know what? You get 15 minutes of my time where I sit down. Well, I don't sit down with you. I get on a WhatsApp chat or a FaceTime or Skype. And I talk through, okay, what did the plan not include that you wanted to see? How can I help you out with whatever you're struggling with? Because this business and me and, everybody, the customer service team at the Exam Coach, we're all about just helping you through your exams. It's solving that problem of how do we get students to really perform their best in these important things, which are exams. They're not the be all and end all. They don't define who you are. But what they do is they open up a lot of opportunities and they keep a lot of doors open for you to walk through and consider in the future. So think about that. And another thing that a student mentioned the other day is you pay for the 7-day exam plan, but they were paying for retakes and remarks the year before, and they were paying double what the 7-day exam plan costs. And they were like, it just makes sense. And you can even get it, with that refund policy, you can just get 14, if you've got 14 days before your exams start, or if you've got 14 days where you just have nothing to do, or even if you're doing like a bit of revision course material at like a tutor or you're at school, Get 14 days of good exam preparation done using the 7-day exam plan. Check it out. Don't miss out on the opportunity. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. You know, you can contact me, WhatsApp, contact the team, WhatsApp or Team Keen at theexamcoach.tv, and someone will get back to you. Anyway, I want to get into these 3 tips. Number 1, the first thing you absolutely need to focus on is consistent routine. Now, let's be specific here. That means getting up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every day, doing the same things every day. When are you revising? When are you eating? When are you doing your relaxation sessions? When are you doing your exercise? Are you spacing that all out within the course of the day to maintain that balanced kind of zen state of being where you're not letting the anxiety, the stress pile up? Because, hey, look, exams are anxiety inducing. That's a fact. Are you doing things so that you're constantly checking that balance and making sure that you're staying healthy, you're staying positive, and you're just chipping away at the revision by keeping things consistent? The way I like to think about it is you look at any professional sports team preparing for a big championship tournament match. They have routines. They have deliberate ways of doing things. When they're doing things, why they're doing it, what they're doing. Everything's deliberate. Everything's planned. And that's how your holiday revision has to be. Everybody wants to get away from the routine that school creates and kind of have no routine during the holidays, but it doesn't work because we need that routine, that scaffolding, that plan to structure our time and our efforts so that we're actually going forward, building towards a goal rather than just scattered, sporadic thinking and revision all over the place where we're not really making any progress. We're just going round and round in circles. So that's the first thing. Second thing, smartphone usage. I know I bang on about this time and time and time again, but it is so important. If you have a positive setup on your smartphone, if you are looking at positive, motivational content that helps you with your exams, your studies, whether it helps you with the subjects themselves or whether it helps you just get motivated to do the subjects themselves and try and do well, or it just puts you in a good mood, make that content prominent on your smartphone. Look at it often. On the flip side, you don't want to be stuck in the hamster wheel of things like social media, things like gaming, which they are great. I enjoy them. I know you do too. Most people do. There's a reason why the internet, smartphones, social media has exploded over the last 20 years or so. It's because they're very useful. They allow us to connect. And you know what? Let's be honest, they're somewhat addictive. They tap into our psychology, our need for connection, our interest in other people's lives and what's going on with them, our interest in being entertained, and gamification that games offer. The key thing you have to understand is, what is your priority at the moment? Now, I'm guessing for most of you, it's your exams. It's cracking on. It's getting stuff done. It's building that momentum. So don't invest your current time, your currency that you have, which is your time, which is your attention, into apps that, or games or social media sites that don't give you the value you need at the moment. Focus on what you're trying to do. Ignore, push that to one side. See beyond it. See the bigger picture. See the 20-year time frame of the person you want to be. And perhaps everybody else's life and what they're doing, and comparing yourself to that each and every day of the holidays becomes a lot less interesting to you, and you start to focus a little bit more on what you can do, how you can improve yourself. And you know what? The funny thing is, if you want to have an impact on other people and make their lives better and be positive, one of the best ways to do that is get yourself right first, because then you're strong and then you can help other people, build them up, make them feel good, and it's going to be great. Like that's ultimately what I imagine most people want to do, right? You want to help others have a happy life, do well, and just by focusing on your stuff, you can actually find that you become a very positive person through that, and you can have an impact on other people in a great way. So don't allow the short attention span that we've been conditioned to have through the smartphone, through technology, to impact you in this important space of time. Train yourself to be able to identify what is important and what is not important. Emphasize and focus on the important stuff. That is your exams, positive content, the subject matter within your textbooks and revision guides, your notes, and what I'm about to speak about next, which is revision techniques that work. Active recall, spaced repetition. Those are the two you should be using each and every day. Active recall, what is it? It's testing yourself. Notes, you should be making bullet pointed notes. One way of testing yourself, take a page of notes, read out those notes when you take them, really internalize them, mull them over in your mind, think about what the words mean, and then push them to one side and think, okay, can I actually remember any of that? And then think in the top of your head, like imagine the words popping into your head and you're thinking, okay, yeah, I remember, I wrote that down. That's one thing. Let's think about another thing. Can I remember that? Boom. Pops into your head. It might not pop into your head. Then what do? You go back, you reread the paper, you push it to one side again, and you do the reps. What's another way you could do this? Take a sheet of notes. Get another sheet of paper, blank, next to it. Look at your notes, then write out 3 questions on the sheet of paper related to those notes. Push the notes away so you can't see them. Test yourself. Answer those questions. See if you can do it. You might be able to do it, you might not. If not, use the notes to fill out the questions. Read through the questions again. Push it to one side. Try and remember it. Active recall. Forcing your brain to try and remember the information. And believe me, the muscle, the brain, I like to see it like a muscle. It's not a muscle, that's an organ. It will get stronger. That's how the neural connections are built up in our brain. If you repeatedly do that over a period of time, spaced repetition, you will be able to remember stuff. Here's a little one for you. If you're going to go and see your friends this weekend, maybe take a train, a car, a bus, into the town centre where you live, or a village, or wherever you live. Imagine this. Write out 3 questions on the notes app on your phone before you leave and try and answer them. Just get out, splurge what you know, what's in your head, and try and answer those questions. Then go back to the exam paper where you got the questions, look at the mark scheme and see if you got them right. And then try and do it again on Wednesday when you go and, visit Phil and Sally for, fish and chips. That's just thinking off the top of my head there. But that's the kind of revision we need to be doing. That constant little using our smartphone in a different way, doing things differently. That's going to make the difference. So think about it. How can you integrate that into it? I've done a bit of, active recall, spaced repetition, smartphone mix up there. But use those techniques and persist. Keep going. It will sink in. You're not intelligent, dumb, stupid, whatever anybody has ever told you, ignore that. You can do this, and it's been proven. People can remember information. Think about something you're passionate about. Can you remember that? Yeah, of course you can. So what's to say you can't remember this information? Okay, you might not be as passionate about it, but can you set up a system to say, right, I know this opens opportunities up for me. I'm passionate about opportunities. I'm passionate about moving forward in life and trying to do things and be better and help other people and help myself. And that should be enough to drive you every day and say, okay, let's try and get down to this. Let's use this system. Let's repeat it. Let's test myself. Let's use my smartphone in a way that's perhaps a little different from how everybody else is using it or likes to use it. Or, you know what? What's just easiest? It's easy to sit there and watch YouTube videos all day. It's easy to sit there and look at everybody else's Instagram pics when they're on holiday and feel sorry for yourself that that's not you, when really you're just getting into kind of a negative comparative state, which is just comparing yourself to the highlights of everybody else's life. You do have those moments. You have similar moments of happiness. It's just that you're comparing that to your whole life. You're comparing to the highlights of someone else's. It just doesn't make sense. So, for this important time of year, focus on your routine. Focus on controlling your time and attention on the smartphone, being deliberate with it. Focus on your active recall, your testing techniques, and focus on spacing out the repetitions of that, being consistent and deliberate over a period of time. That is what will bring results. Remember, give the 7-day exam plan a try. It's a no-brainer. I've worked 5 years on this with numerous students who have gone through it, and it works. And you know what? You got the opportunity to just test it. Give it a try. And if it doesn't work for you, we can talk it out. And either way, I'm going to do everything I can to try and put you in the best position to succeed. Anyway, I know this has been a bit of a crazy rant, but I just needed to get the point across. The time to work, the time to persevere and be dedicated to exam success is now. I'm checking out.